going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some more breaking news. Detroit Lions last night, they signed Pro Bowl guard Kevin Zeitler. I think this was a very good pickup. I think this is one of Brad Holmes' better pickups to date. I really like this pickup. You know, this kid went to Wisconsin, Wisconsin Badger, Big Ten. Don't really know the contract details right now. It was a one-year deal, obviously, for the Detroit Lions. 6'4", 340 pounds. He was drafted in the first round, 27th overall back in 2012 by the Cincinnati Bengals. Been in the NFL for 12 years. Number 13 will be, lucky 13 will be with the Detroit Lions. He was 5 years at Cincinnati, 2 years to the Browns, signed a massive deal with the Cleveland Browns that made him like one of the, I believe it was a 3-4 year deal at $60 million, $50 million per or something. Not $50 million per, but like a big, massive deal at the time with the Cleveland Browns that made him the highest paid guard in the NFL at that time. And the Browns, he only spent 2 years in Cleveland, and then he was traded to the New York Giants for another 2 years there to the New York Giants. And then he was released and he was signed by the Baltimore Ravens. Had a nice little deal there, like a 3-4 year deal, whatever it was, $20 plus million, and released after 3 years. The one thing that you could say about Kevin Zeitler is that he is a model of consistency. Okay? He's not a superstar. He's not an all-pro. He does have one Pro Bowl to his name. But what he is very consistent, and he's super durable. Very durable. Like, we all complain that Brad Holmes, and I'm one of them, okay? And I'm one of them. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. We all complain that Brad Holmes goes out there and signs injured guys. This isn't one of them. And people are still complaining about this signing. You know, not everybody. I think majority love this signing. But this is a guy that's very, very consistent. He's not going to come in there. He's not like, he's going to start. He's going to start. I believe he's going to start at right guard. He's played right guard for majority of his career. I think most of his snaps, like that are in the thousands, have been at right guard. I think there was like 7 snaps that he hasn't played at right guard. So maybe he was at left guard or whatever, but he is a right guard. So I'm guessing he's going to play right guard in Detroit. Glasgow's going to move over to left guard. And it'll all work itself out in the end. OTAs, training camp, preseason. You probably won't see much of these guys playing in preseason football games just because of their age, you know. Kevin Zeitler is 34 years old. He just turned 34, by the way, in March. And Graham Glasgow is going to be 32, I believe, in July. So we have a very old guard combo, left guard, right guard combo. Now, to me, this doesn't take interior O-line off the board for me still, but I think it lessens it. I'm talking about the draft. I still think there's a possibility that we take a guard at 29. I don't think it's going to happen now. A little bit. I'm kind of like, I still think it's on the table, but I just think it's not as big of a need. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I think there's really good guard play in this draft. I really like Zach Zinner from Michigan. I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but Zach Zinner, if they can get him in the second or possibly even the third round, I think that would be fantastic. But there's a lot of good guard play in this draft, and I think we're going to address it no matter what. We still got Sorsel on the roster who needs seasoning. Coyote Awosika, who's another guy that I think, you know, that started a few games. Sorsel, I think, started a few games because injuries and all that stuff. But those guys still, I think, need seasoning, developing, whatever you want to call it. But this is just a consistent move by Brad Holmes. The one thing I was worried about going into this year, in 2024, one thing I was concerned about was the guard play. Okay? Because I like Graham Glasgow, don't get me wrong. But then the other spot, I was like, what are they going to do? There's going to be a rookie there. He's going to have a lot of ups and downs. The guard play's not going to be as good. With this move, bringing Kevin Zeitler, it replenishes Jonah Jackson. Now, I like Jonah Jackson. Now, I don't think that, obviously, they weren't going to pay Jonah the $17 million that he made in LA. I think Jonah deserved a big contract. He played very well here. One thing about Jonah Jackson was he couldn't stay healthy. And I think that's one of the reasons why he was released, or sought to look after another team, and then the LA Rams swooped in and picked him up. He's a good guard. He didn't play in the NFC Championship game, which I thought was massive. And sometimes that sticks with coaches, it sticks with GMs. They want guys that are going to be playing. And finally, Brad Holmes doesn't grab a guy that's banged up, and people still kind of bitch about it. It doesn't really make sense to me. Like, this guy's missed 13 games in 12 seasons. He's a pillar of health. And his second and third year as a Bengal is where he missed most of his time. He missed 8 games in his second and third years. He's had some ankles, some knee injuries, some quad injuries, but nothing completely major. Nothing major. If you go look at his body of work, his games played, his games started, games dressed, he has been a guy that has dressed for majority of his career. And I think that's all we can ask for. Now, what are you getting in a guy like a Kevin Zeitler? What are you getting? Are you getting a better guard than Jonah Jackson? I will be honest with you. I don't think he's a better guard. I think it kind of evens itself out. And when I say it evens itself out, I think Zeitler is a phenomenal pass blocking guard. He's one of the better pass blocking guards in the NFL. He doesn't run block as well as a guy like Jonah Jackson, though. He's not as nasty. He's big. He's massive. He's 6'4", 340 pounds. But he's not as nasty a run blocker as Jonah was. He's not. But I think it balances itself out. If you guys know what I'm kind of saying. Better pass blocker, not a better run blocker. If that makes any sense to anybody, I'm sure it does. So I kind of think it balances itself out. But we're replenishing that position, and we're getting a guy that's been there, done that, playoffs. He's been on a couple bad teams though. Like, when Cincinnati was kind of bad, when the Browns were bad, the Giants are bad. He's been on some bad teams. The Ravens is probably the best team he's ever been on. So he's got a little bit. He's got some playoff experience at least. But I just think this is a very good move by Brad Holmes, and I think it lessens the anxiety. I'm talking for me. But I think it lessens anxiety of a lot of Lions fans going into the 2024 season, because I was really worried about what they were going to do with one of those guard positions. I know we had Glasgow. We re-signed Graham Glasgow, which I thought was a good deal, getting him back in the mix. Now you have another veteran player who is durable as hell, going to man up that other guard spot. And I think he's going to be our right guard. Now, he's not the future, and neither is Graham Glasgow. So that's why I say guard play. I think guard in the draft is not out at 29. It's not. I just don't think it's going to be out at 29. I think it's still on the table that they possibly could pick someone there, but I think this is a nice draft. They could maybe wait later on to grab another guard. You even got to grab a center. That's a whole other video, but they got to look at center too as well, because Ragnow is literally playing on one leg. He has been for the last couple of years. He has been, especially that toe. That toe is mangled. It's destroyed. So it's like, we got some, Brad Holmes has got work to do. I think this is a very good signing, though. I don't know the details of the contract, like I said. But, you're getting a guy that's a better pass blocking in Kevin Zeitler. You're getting a better pass blocker guard than you would in Jonah Jackson. And you're getting a guy that's more durable. But I'm not going to say Kevin Zeitler is head over, like, is way above Jonah Jackson. I think it balances itself out. I really do. Like, I don't think Jonah's better. I don't really think Zeitler's better. Jonah might have a better ceiling because he's younger. He had the bigger contract. He could come out in LA and be an absolute stud guard for the Rams. He could. But, Jonah had his moments in Detroit. Jonah had his moments, good and bad. Injuries, I think, were a big part of it. He did play, as a Pro Bowler, an alternate. Zeitler was a Pro Pro Bowl alternate last year, I think. I think he was an alternate, but he was a Pro Bowler, whatever he was. But you're not getting, good or bad here. I think it evens itself out, and I've said this too many times now. I keep repeating myself, okay? And it's just something that I got to stop doing. But we got a guy that's consistent. That's the main word I'm looking for. Consistent. Durable, consistent, good play, solid play. No superstar guard, but I don't think either was Jonah Jackson. But we got a good stopgap guard for the 2024 season. It still needs to be addressed, but this is a very slick and good move by Brad Holmes. So that's it, guys. Love the move. We're not going to have to worry about a rookie guard coming in and playing in year one to start right away, but you can still grab one and have him develop. We still got a couple guys like Sorzo and Coyote Wasika to kind of develop too as well. So love the move. Good job by Brad Holmes. Now, thanks a lot, guys, for the video. Thanks for coming in and watching me rant about our Detroit Lions. It's a good signing. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up top to get all my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Appreciate it, guys. One pride. Detroit first, everybody. Let's go, baby. Woo!